Hi, we'll just start in a minute or so. I've just requested our special guest to join. Hi, viewers. We'll just join we'll start in a minute. Our special guest is about to join today. So, meanwhile, I'll give my introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Apurva. I'm a math educator at ArcMath. And right now, we are working with our digital math book, which is ArcBook. So, that is the name of our page. We have been organizing weekly workshops for parents, children, teachers. And in this week's workshop, we decided to take up a topic which has been the constant worry of all the parents: how to deal with kids when they are at home all the time, how to deal with their tantrums, how to make them study when they're all the learning happening is online. And that is the topic for today's discussion. The topic is the journey from gadgets to books and vice versa. To discuss this, we have a very special guest. I'm just going to make a request to her to join. Let's see. Uh, and then I'll introduce all of you to her. Her name is Karishma Mehra. She is a practicing psychologist, a family therapist, a counselor for women and girls, happiness and mindfulness coach, and a lot of other responsibilities she has been handling really well. And she is a successful mother of two children. She's just going to join in a minute or so. Meanwhile, if you guys have any questions related to today's topic, you can just drop those questions in the comments. We'll try to cover up all the questions today. The topic is how to make kids study and make them leave the gadgets. Let's see, when is she going to join? Yeah, she'll be in a minute or so. I think there is some network issue from her side. She's trying to join, but she is unable to join. We are trying. As soon as it gets fixed, we'll start the discussion. Really sorry for the delay. I hope we get started in a minute. Okay, we have some questions. Why not make gadgets a useful way to help them study? Mindful games, apps, videos, etc. That is very true, ma'am. Somebody is there with the woven heart, and that is the username. So, ma'am, that is a wonderful idea. But we'll definitely discuss this and how to use gadgets and any of the screen time in a meaningful way, in an effective way. That is very true. All of you can drop your questions here. Let's see. I think there is a major connection glitch from her side. She's unable to join. She has messaged me that I'm unable to join.
Hi.
So
How are
finally
you?
you're able to join.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I am technically a little slow, so it takes me a while to actually get to the whole process of getting it together. So,
No
my
issues,
bad.
no issues. Everyone was waiting, so I thought maybe I'll just text you. Thank
No,
you so
no,
much.
no.
Most
You're
welcome.
most
Thank you so
welcome.
much for taking time for us. So I've already given your introduction. For new viewers, I'll introduce you again. So she's Karishma Mehra. She's a very famous and a very practicing psychologist. She's
Thank
a family
you.
therapist. She is a happiness and mindfulness coach and a lot of other responsibilities she has been handling really well. She is a successful mother of two children, and that's why she is going to discuss how to make kids study, how to leave them, how to make them leave gadgets. So, ma'am, can we start?
Yes, surely. So, first thing I just wanted to share with all of you, it's not about leaving gadgets. It's not about separating our children from gadgets. I think it's just accepting your child with the gadget and moving on to the bigger goals and not getting stuck at the small speed breakers that we often feel that our children are feeling a part of. So,
Yeah,
as a mother, yes, there is a struggle. Definitely, there is a very big struggle of having gadgets as a very important part of their life. But the minute you accept it, I think it just makes life easier for your
yeah,
child and you to be able to move past it. Okay, so he is liking gadgets or she is enjoying gadgets. What can I
yeah,
do now? That's the whole idea of from gadgets to books and books to gadgets.
yeah.
It's a jumping curve between the two. And I think
Especially
it's just
during
easier.
this pandemic.
Yes, during the pandemic, I think it's just been more one sided. But I think having said that, it's one sided, it is also having its overdose. It has to die its own death. And we have to come down to a more positive way of acceptance with this. So I just wanted to share a few figures. Purva, first thing I wanted to share was children in India, especially, are living in houses where research is conducted, and they say that 95% of children today are living in homes which have gadgets. So
Yeah,
if 95, that is almost like 9 out of 10 families that you have children with are
right,
having gadget access, that
right.
automatically is almost 100% access to gadgets. So when you already have gadgets as an access, wouldn't you want to reach out to gadgets? So that is one significant number that we have to understand, that mobiles, phones, gadgets are so easily available to our children that it's
Yeah,
not their fault if they enjoy it. I also enjoy a movie. For some time, it kind of moves me away from the ruckus that I am in. So why not our children? Our children are very, very involved and they enjoy it. And I'd like to accept it that yes, my house is full of gadgets which a child enjoys, from a PlayStation to a telephone to a laptop to an iPad to a servant's phone. So we all have access to gadgets. But it's very important for us to understand the why of gadget. Why is
Right,
there a need for this gadget?
right, right. That's very true. So, how has the schedule of kids been, especially during this pandemic? Like how much their screen time has increased, and what is the time they have to contribute to the school learning or the online learning that is happening?
So surprisingly, the time that a child spends on a gadget before the pandemic was anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to 7 to 8 hours, thanks
Right,
to school. But
right,
now, with school being 4 5 hours itself in the mornings on the gadget, you add another 7 hours or 8 hours of it. That's making it more than 50% of the day.
right,
That is where the problem is arising, because children and adults are getting addicted and everyone only has one liggu. काम ही तो कर रहे हैं. Whether it's you, whether it's me, everyone has the same thing. काम ही तो कर रहे हैं, पढ़ाई तो कर रहा हूँ, research कर रहा हूँ. Everyone has this thought process that I am working towards something. So how is gadget bad? Now the
yeah,
catch is, I want to move the thought process of a parent from gadgets to the fact that okay, gadgets are there, okay, they are spending so much time. What
yeah,
is the quality time? Instead of thinking how many hours we are on the gadget, what if we actually thought of how much time are we with the child playing games or doing readings or doing some other artwork or spending some quality time having conversation? So
right,
instead of thinking, oh my God, you are 2 hours on the PlayStation, or oh my God, you're still on the phone, why not
right.
indulge in giving them a different perspective? You cannot
Okay,
pull a child from the gadget, but what you can do is you can pull the child towards yourself. He will automatically leave the gadget behind. But what
okay,
we
okay.
do is, it's a constant fight between what a gadget can do and what a parent can do. So a parent is always trying to pull them away. But how do you pull magnetic forces? They'll still go back.
Yeah,
Instead, if I create another magnetic field with enjoyment, fun, inclusive fun, and studying in a play way, both my kids, however old they may be, they say when you teach, it's the most enjoyable experience. So the
yeah,
idea is making time, at the same time making time for recreational activities. So okay, we have gadgets. How do we move from here to point C, which is your books, your fun? That's the catch. We all know gadgets are there. I mean, today every child knows the spelling of corona. This child knows the spelling of laptops. They may not know how to write A and B, but they exactly know how to skip the ad, switch on the YouTube, or switch off something that's not of interest to them. So
right,
children are exactly having access to what they like. But what is our catch is, our role is not to emphasize on the damage. Our emphasis has to be on the paradigm shift, the movement from year to year. And that can only be created when I am mindful as a parent. And that mindfulness, I think we really need to create in our minds. There are days where
mm,
I actually sit like this with my children because I do not want to shout at them. For the simple reason that I respect their need of the gadget versus my need of peace and no gadgets in the room. So
yeah,
it's okay, it's acceptable, and I think it's far more respectable if I work with a child with one thought that it's all right. I understand.
yeah,
When I verbalize this, it works for the child to see that, all right, this is something that I can do too. And if mama can sit and read a book, so can I. We all want our children to be readers. But how many of
yeah,
us actually sit to read? Mummy will
yeah.
say,
That's
book
very true.
padho. She will say, book padho. She will say, padhai karo. But what will she do? She will sit and watch her Instagram. She will see her Facebook. She will be doing some therapy. She will be doing something. So what is happening is, there is a discord in what I say and what I do. And the
Basically,
child,
teach what you preach.
yeah, but it's also Yeah, but I do empathize with parents today also, because Apurva, it's a very difficult situation to be. I know the
Yeah.
feelings, but at the same time, I am irritable. I am troubled because it's bothering me that the child is constantly watching YouTube, or the child is gaming, or the child is doing something on the gadget, and it bothers me. I do not
Yeah.
want that, constant tuck, tuck, tuck on the gadget. How do you work around it? So the catch over here for a parent is, we do understand that what as a parent we are going through. You feel
Yeah.
judged by others around you. There are people around you who will be very quick to say, "Mummy ne bigada hai, Papa ne bigada hai." But the
Right.
catch is not किसने बिगाड़ा है. Catch is कौन समेट सकता है. And
Yeah.
how do you bring it back? How do you bring the whole process back? I mean, as parents, it's not easy. Yeah? You have to live with this powerhouse of energy since the last 9 months, and now that corona is anyways not getting better, and you have pollution added to it, so jo
Yeah.
chhat pe you can send, even that is not possible. What do you do? And as a parent, even your energy is depleted because you are going around, so many people say that, itna sara kuch karne ke liye hai, how can I actually think about doing all this? I
Yeah.
understand, but it's very important that we consciously make a few ground rules as a family. At least the pandemic has helped us, and a lot of families I know who've been able to actually work around, bringing that whole understanding to their table, to the dining
Yeah.
table, where we
Yeah.
eat together. We're able to think what we need to do. Most important, have time zones for each and every designated activity. It's just
Right.
easier. How do we think schools function? Schools have a period, they have a timetable, there is a slot available for each activity. Why not do that at home? No, I don't need to be the principal or the teacher, but I can be a co-student with my child. And we both can say, okay, this is a time to study, this is a time
Yeah.
to play. You do your way, I do my way. This is a
Yeah.
time to eat lunch together. So, what I'm trying to say is making it a cohort of your own, instead of actually bickering out and saying, you do this and I do this. And that blame game is not going to get anywhere. If you read articles also online, Apurva, a lot of us blame the parents.
Yeah.
It's all starting from parenting, it's all starting from home. Respect it. I get it. It all starts at home. But at home, we are
Yeah.
also humans. I mean, as a
Yeah.
psychologist, I totally hear a parent when she says, I'm fed up. I don't know what to do. And now there is pollution. And now there is my husband who's home and he's telling me that, oh my God, how are you bringing up the kids? And you're the one spoiling them. They don't eat anything. Stop. There are so many things a housewife, a homemaker, or a mother for that matter, whether she's working or not, is actually listening and prone to understanding. Oh my God, this is also something that is my department. So I just suggest that why not actually create schedules and create these time zones which will help you and your child connect. And me and my kids actually have a playtime where gadgets are away, and we're having these conversations where these conversations are about, I understand why you cried. I know how you felt. I also know how you feel when someone scolds you. So all of this is like a really bothersome period for the child. But when there is someone who's able to flow it out with you in flow,
Yeah.
it just makes it easier for the child. I have teenagers and adolescents, and as young as 8, 9 year olds coming in telling me, Auntie, I don't want to talk to Mama. All she says is, and
Mm.
they mimic. So they mimic exactly the way she says. पढ़ाई करो, अब ये टाइम हो गया है, पापा आएंगे उनको भी सुनाएंगी, वो भी वही बोलते हैं. उन दोनों को और कुछ नहीं आता. They don't have anything else to do with me as long as I'm studying. Sorry, that's not how we parent our children. We have to step back. Because Apurva, somewhere I feel that all of us want to be the good parent, the happy parent, the go-to parent. But
Yeah.
what we end up through the day is like a before and after, and you're like, nah, it didn't work. But the good news is you again have tomorrow to start afresh. Every
Right.
day
Right.
is a new day.
Right.
So I really think that as parents, we really need to accept gadgets as a part of their life and not treat gadgets as an alien demon who's actually eating our children.
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
isn't. I am more powerful than that stupid gadget, and I can deal with my child. When I have that notion, I'm able to multiply my thought process into understanding what needs to go into it. I am not here just for, I'm not here for the do's and don'ts. But what are parents doing today? Most parents I know are just doing this. They're only up to their mind. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. When I think about myself also as a parent, I'm literally shouting at them and telling them, ye mat karo, ab ye mat karo. And you have to stop and you have to take a deep breath
Yeah.
and you have to say that, okay, I
Yeah.
get it. I know you're not okay. Kar lo jo karna. So, yeah, that's one thing. Then I also feel that one of the very recent cases that I had, where I realized that the child was not open to any kind of partnership with a parent because
Exactly.
they feel that they are against us. It's a mental block that a child believes that my parents do not understand me and I am averse to telling them anything about my life. So
Right.
when I come to that situation, it's very important to be able to first build a connect with your child. And
Yeah.
sometimes this connect is totally amiss. If you as teacher also notice, you know how children so bubblingly come out and talk and they say, Mama ne ye nahi kiya and Papa ne ye nahi kiya. It's heartwarming to see how they want to open up to strangers. It's easier
Right. Right.
because
Because
they are
they
not.
they don't feel judged. They don't have that
Yes.
fear.
And parents also don't judge from a place of, I want to judge my child. They fear judgment from the outside world. And because of that judgment of the outside world,
It
they
gets
end up
projected on
being
child.
the tough, yes, they are tough taskmasters. And when you become a tough taskmaster, you actually roll and rumble it. And it's like a big mumble jumble. And that mumble jumble is your relationship with your child. And then the
Right.
whole life, you're just trying to straighten out the knots that you feel in this relationship. So,
Right.
yeah.
So I think I still remember my first conversation with you. You were telling it to someone that you take out time every day to play board game with both your children,
Yes.
and you sit together as a family, spend family time, you open up to each other, making that comfort zone for your children where they can be vulnerable. They don't have that
Yes.
fear, okay, while talking to their parents, they'll be scolded, or is it something bad. They get the decision, they get the that knowledge how to make the right and the wrong decisions, how to be kind to each other. I think that's the best thing we can do right now, even as teachers and parents.
When we vocalize the emotions and feelings, Apurva, the
Yeah.
child automatically dips into that pool and takes out the emotions they want to take out of it. But the
Right.
problem
Right.
is, we don't want to offer them a pool of it. We give them stickers and labels. You are angry. You are irritating. You are troublesome. You are a troublemaker. You know, it's
Right.
very disheartening to hear a child talk about himself saying, आंटी बट मुझे ना गुस्सा बहुत आता है एंड आई एम लाइक बच्चे आपको रियली गुस्सा आता है आफ्टर 5 minutes you go back to that conversation and you ask that child again, do you really feel you get angry, or is it people around you who tell you these things? And instantly he says, no, I don't think I am, but people around me tell me I am. So he
Right.
has only tapped into the energy that you are giving him about him. For example,
Right.
I wanted to share this. So during the pandemic, having the gadget up front in my face, we realized that there is no running away from it. But the challenge is, how can I use it for my advantage? That is the question. And that I am able to use very, very positively with myself. So, for example, there was something about culture, you know, with the whole Ramayana, Mahabharat rerunning in the
Right.
like the television thing. So I took this as an opportunity to actually play it for my children. And as a family, the four of us are still watching 25 seasons of the Mahabharata. At least my
Oh.
children will know my culture. That was one way we would use that time to spend with each other. So this was designated 45 minutes. We would see one chunk every day. So it was like a thing we were catching on, you know. And then we started playing games on the dinner table. Who remembers so and so? Who remembers this one's mother? And moral values that were the discourse between Arjun and Krishna. The idea or the example is that if I can use gadget as a proactive prompt instead of a demon in front of me, if I use it as an ally, I will definitely be able to connect with my child. I will be able to correct my child. And I will be able to work like a community with my child. Because a community is not made by outsiders. The community is first made by the parents. And if I and my children, we can be a team and a family, then we're bold and strong enough to deal with any kind of issues.
Yeah, anything that comes from outside, because you are going to behave like a family, jointly put effort.
And then someone in a family environment, what happens is sometimes you give in, sometimes you bring it out. So you are like in and out of that circle, but it's a cooperative circle. No one over here is working from a state of ego. But the minute I was, so during the pandemic, I also sensed a lot of unrest with the adolescents and the pre-adolescents who were actually trying to say that, we are not able to spend time with our friends and mama doesn't understand. And my own son said that, how will I be close to my friends? The understanding over here was I had to give in to the gadget for the child to temporarily feel connected. So I have to always bargain between the need that I see between children. Is the need of emotionally, socially feeling safe bigger than the addiction fear that I have? Or is the fear getting out of hand and these feelings are a mumble jumble still? So it's always, every parent is consciously trying to balance the seesaw. No parent I know is trying to willingly give it. But yes, something that we need to take note of is a lot of time we parents hand over the gadget to solve and resolve their anxiety, restlessness, or the troublemaking issues of the child of attention. So we say, ye lo gadget, thodi der baith ke ye kar lo. What is happening in that is the child is getting wired into one type of sensory motion. He's only observing and he's only listening. The other senses stop functioning. And this is particularly true for younger kids where their fingers don't move, there is no mobility, there is no movement. So the vestibule, so various types of issues that we deal with are not taken care of when you're only particularly concentrating on one sensory skill. And that has created and evoked a lot of disorders, a lot of issues, and a lot of spectrum issues that have come to light thanks to the pandemic. And a lot of ADHD has been one of the most prevalent issues, which is not it is not a reason. So gadgets are not a reason for ADHD, but gadgets aggravate the issue of ADHD. They are definitely aggravating issues we do not want to deal with. We call them lifestyle issues, but these are not lifestyle issues. Any disorder, any disability, any kind of differently wired conditioning is not because of gadgets. But gadgets sometimes aggravate the situation and the problem, which we are trying to control and we're trying to work on. So giving a child a gadget for 10 hours or 12 hours is not the wisest thing. But at the same time, being a demonic figure for the child and saying continuously, no, 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 is absolutely taking the child more into the social world of applications like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Because they feel connected there, and they are inherently developing that aversion towards parents because they are constantly hearing a no, 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 which they don't want to hear, right?
And it's a constant place of judgment with parents.
A
constant place of judgment. And
even if
with gadgets, it's a safe place. I can switch out the minute I want. The minute I feel threatened, I just have to click one button and I'm out of this. And I don't care what
Exactly.
the world is thinking. So definitely that con and pros are there of gadgets. But all in all, gadgets can be used in a very befriending way instead of always taking negative.
Yeah.
So one
Yeah.
of the biggest plus points for senior school children specifically is, or seniors or adults, is today geographical boundary is no more there. I
Yeah.
can virtually do a course. I can, like, everyone can connect everywhere. There is
Yeah.
no boundary, there is no limitation. It's become limitless. But at the same time, it has also evoked a lot of fears relating to a lot of nuisance happening thanks to gadgets.
Yeah, a lot of things we were, oblivion to the idea of. Those were happening in the background, but we
Yes.
couldn't see them until unless this pandemic came.
Right. And
Right.
one of those things that I'd like to highlight is a lot of children are getting attracted towards working with, uh, just having their own cohort of people and circle of friends, and they do not wish to talk out with people, and they'd
Yeah.
rather just be confined to the room. It's it's getting addictive. It's there, but slowly I as a parent have to have that confidence that I have the power to reach out my child, but with kindness. The catch
Yeah.
is not to reach out, the catch is empathetically kind, where I'm compassionate and I vocalize it. So a lot of children come and I ask them, do you think your mom and dad don't understand you? And ironically, 80% of them, have an answer that no, they do understand me. They
Oh.
only do understand us, but that but is very big. That but says it all. That but I
Okay.
feel that they do not want to acknowledge my love for it. They do not. If I want to be a YouTuber, auntie, what is the harm? I want to be a gamer. You
Okay.
see, so many, somebody has so many likes, somebody has so many likes. So these are issues which create a problem, but these are also issues which aggravate and trigger issues which are already existential in a child. And a
Exactly. Exactly.
child is very, very vulnerable in the social space. We give our
Right.
child the latest gadgets, we give our child the latest applications. We are not, we, I ask a parent a lot of times, so have you checked your child's phone? And they're like, no, no, I believe in complete privacy. I don't believe in sneak peeking into a child's phone. Okay,
Okay.
respect that. But at the same time, I want to be aware. Either, so I also have given my child a very small gadget to kind of work with, but at the same time, we have one understanding: no locks put from your end, but I have access to it. I will not access it without your permission, but I want to know from you verbally if all's well. At the same time, I also build a community for a child where there are 4 or 5 people around him who are able to actually help the child come back to it. And if
Right.
the child
Right.
needs help, he's able to reach out. But the most
Right.
beautiful part for a mother is if a child is coming back to you and telling you, I'm not okay, please take it seriously, because mental health is a concern worldwide. We do
Yeah.
not realize when our children tell us loosely if they are not okay, they need therapy, or they need to reach out to somebody. There are a lot of times I acknowledge the fact that I, as a parent, fall short to my child. And every parent falls short at some point. I cannot
Right.
always say I'm omnipresent and I'm always there. No, we're not there. Our children are definitely in need of that empathetic adult who will listen to them and not judge them. So
Right.
our
Right.
conversations have to step down. I've said this a lot of times. can tell you that your child, am I audible to you, Apurva? We
Yes, yes,
lost
I
you.
think, yeah, I think that was some network issue. Sorry about that. Yes, you were saying
Okay.
something.
I was talking about the mental space and how we need to understand the mental space of a child and
Right.
extremely importantly understand what they go through. A child is not sitting and just there to listen to you. They're not
Right.
your own property. A
Right.
child is not somebody who just belongs to you. The
Right.
best part as a parent is don't think we belong to each other. I think we partner together to make a family,
Oh,
to make a community. Because
okay.
partnering would definitely make a lot of difference.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Apurva, if any of them have a question, they're free to write.
Yeah. I have requested them. If anyone has any questions, they can put it in the comment section. We'll check. Meanwhile, I have a question. So, like you said, we
Yes.
need to create some comfort zone for the children, and I think we can also set some guidelines for using the gadgets. Okay, so maybe there might not be a fixed time because the schedule varies daily. Sometimes there are some
Mm-hmm.
runtime tasks, but things like, okay, there are certain kinds of apps which I think as a parent it's not useful for you. Okay, we are not going to even use the word harmful, we are going to use the word not useful, so that they know, okay, this is right and this is wrong. How do we put that across children? I mean,
So,
even as
definitely,
teacher, I try to,
yeah.
talk to my children during the class, how much time do you spend on the screen? And they're like, we love watching TV, so we are going to watch TV after the class.
In fact, I would actually say that. So, hi, Alicia. The point over here, Apurva, is that how you connect, how strongly you are able to connect with your child to be able to do this. That is the
Yeah,
first catch. You cannot do this with strangers, you cannot do it with another child. But what you
right.
can do is create an atmosphere where you're able to actually open it up. So
Yeah,
we actually had a conversation with my. I had a conversation with my children, where I know both of them are growing up, and both of them are in the age where curiosity is getting to them in their own way. So I
right,
bring it up to my children that you know what, let's explore it. But if you do not wish to explore with me, I am respectful of your boundary. But at the
right.
same time, you don't need to have that oh my god kind of thing with mama. It's all right. I understand. When I tell them my own life experiences, they listen, they connect.
Yeah,
If I am telling them vaguely, you should not watch this, you should not do that, they're off. They're like, oh God, we don't want to listen to this. How will you take it,
yeah.
Apurva? 24 hours, somebody told you, Apurva, do this, do that. You're like, okay, leave me alone now.
Yeah,
Because it's
I mean,
human
everyone needs
nature.
their me time. Yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah,
Alicia has asked, how long should children be allowed to watch TV? So
in a day.
there is not a direct answer to this, but yes, what we can do is have a deal with our children where we're able to discuss the understanding that okay, how much TV is good for you? How much TV do you need? How much do you feel like getting? That's the understanding.
So
And bring it to
basically,
a logical discussion. Yeah.
yeah. So basically,
It's
taking the middle ground between want and needs, right, and
yes,
guiding them about it.
because for all of us as mothers and parents, the biggest problem is when we want to win by making them lose and not give them television. Anyways, you can't make them do anything productive at that time because their
Right,
brain is, oh my god, mera wo miss ho gaya, right?
right,
So instead of that, how about if we discussed a middle ground and said, okay, you can watch from 3 to 4, but 4 means 4, knowing very well that it's going to be 4:15. But I
right.
have told him 4, and I know by 3:50 I will say 10 minutes more, 10 minutes more. In my mind, when I have set 4:15, even if he finishes at 4:10, according to him, he got that 10 minutes extra. That's a win for
Right.
him. But it's a win for me that before 4:15 it was cut. At the
Okay.
same time, you also have to understand that anywhere between 2 to 3 hours is what children are minimum taking, and I'm aware of it. So if I hypothetically said only 50 minutes or 60 minutes in a day, it's not going to go down. It's a very practical approach. You have to be very practical with your children, and the best
Right.
way to do this is have bedroom conversation, have the nighttime conversation. how much TV do you think? And every time you watch TV, I want you to put a start time and a closing time. Let's just tabulate how much TV are we actually watching. And then we can come to a middle ground. Why, when you do this, it's particularly helpful because your child feels heard. He feels mama is listening to me and mama wants to answer my questions and mama wants to take my choice also.
Right.
I do that as a process which is joined. We're partners. Sometimes I give in, oh mama last episode hai, please extra dekh le. And sometimes I'm like, no, chalo ab khatam ho gaya, let's go. Because I have to have the rubber band to have its elasticity. It's not a band if it's not elastic enough. Yeah, so I hope I've answered that. So there's another question. Why not make gadgets a useful way to help them study? Sure. So yes, mindful games, apps, videos. Let me tell you, we actually constructively want our children to take up these questions and these mindful gadgets and take up the positivity of gadgets and use them as a positive way of connecting with our children. But at the same time, being a typical mom or a father, you have that thing in your mind, 2 घंटे से टीवी दिखा रहे हैं, अपने मन से टीवी दिखा सकते हैं, हम बोलेंगे टीवी देखने दो आज एक दिन, तो वो नहीं अलाउ. There are a lot of these narratives around you. What is important over here is to keep a balance of both mindful games, at the same time some fun and brainless activities. Let them enjoy it also. And let me tell you, so when I do sessions online, or when I see or I've been taking a lot of coaching and training, so when you have a session or you are studying on a laptop or a gadget, studying, not teaching, when you're studying for like an hour or 2 hours, you do not want to listen to anybody. You just want to be. And this is an experience that I think every parent should try. Sit on a gadget and study something as heavy as the Delhi Sultans or the Mughal Empire or some maths horrendous questions. I'm sorry. But if you actually have to do all of this, after that, you just want to breathe. It's very natural for a child. Even a baby wants a break from mama saying, ye karo. पहले gadget पे teacher बोल रही थी ये करो, अब मम्मा बोल रही है चलो breakfast करो, चलो जल्दी से दूध पियो, फिर आपकी दूसरी class है. We have to respect their me time. And if their me time between 2 sessions is a plain watching TV, it's all right. So it's okay. It's totally okay. I have a son who wants to watch YouTube at 8 a.m. in the morning after his first class. And he says, मुझे देखना है मम्मा. And I say, okay, but one promise. इसके बाद नहीं. So what have I done in my mind is, I have made a connect. अभी देख लेगा, उसके बाद no cheating. Give him. कोई बात नहीं. पूरे दिन हमारी शांति रहेगी. So you have to come a middle way with your child. There is no chance that you are actually going to be able to disassociate from your motherly role. You can't do that. You have to be there. And there is no choice but to deal with gadgets. So it's like वो गधे को बाप बनाने वाली, that statement. I will embrace gadgets with all my love and use it with all it takes. And gadgets actually can prove to be really a very boonful experience for anyone who actually wants to use it with a positive mindset.
And
yeah, go on.
No, I'll continue. You say it, then I'll ask.
Okay, so why do I have to judge that my child is only on social media and social media is bad? If social media temporarily is able to give my child a positive experience of feeling good, it's okay. It's all right. Stop making it such a big, larger than life problem. Oh my God, my child is on Instagram. Oh my God, my child is on Snapchat. You have to respect the fact that your child is a soul of his own. And it may be important. Maybe not at 10, 12, but at 14 and 15, if your child is secretly doing it and you find out, first think, what happened? Why did he do that without telling me? First, analyze yourself. Had he told you, Mama, मैं Instagram खोल लूं, what would Mama say? नहीं, you're too small for this. But he's curious, and curiosity will kill the cat. So I don't need to question myself. I need to understand not his behavior, but his intent with gadgets. And let me tell you, 9 out of 10 children have only pure positive intent even if they are abusing gadgets left, right, and center. Their only intent is feeling loved, feeling accepted, feeling a part of the community, to
Feeling
resonate
validated.
with something and say validation. Exactly. To feel resonating with somebody and say, okay, I'm not the only one feeling this. Thank God I'm not
Exactly.
abnormal. Yeah. And isn't that true with youth also, Apurva? I have so many
Yeah.
youngsters coming to me with the same issues that I feel
Right.
judged. I don't open the video because I think they're going to laugh at me. You know, and these are
Right.
issues that a child as young as 8, 9 to a child or an old adult of 21, 22 feels. Like I had this child who is a topper of one of the very elite schools, and this child kept telling me, but auntie, I'm not good enough because I'm not socially accepted. How
Oh.
disheartening is that? The whole school goes gungo about you, and you are disheartened sitting in one corner and saying, I'm not loved. I'm nowhere. I'm not a socially
Right.
cool person. So
Right.
imagine the image change that the child needs. So it's extremely important that we keep that thought in mind when we reach out to our children. You don't need to take the child from gadget to books or anywhere else. You just need to co-create a space with gadgets, which is
Yeah.
called me and mine.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
do that, me and mine, gadgets will cease to exist as a problem. And that is what we as parents need. We do not need to now know about how many hours we need or how much time, what kind of serials. All is okay. Everything is fine. There is no wrong as a parent, and no parent is wrong in their approach. Some are able to do it, some are unable to do it. But respecting parenting for each of us is very important. And respecting every child is so important because a
Right.
child feels unloved. And that is one of the biggest reasons that they reach out to gadgets.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
very true. So this reminds me, yesterday one of the parents was talking to me. They have a 5-year-old son, and they asked me, "Ma'am, how to deal with behavioral issues of my 5-year-old child?" And obviously, I did not have a proper answer to it. What would you suggest? Especially because they
So
have been trying to seek counseling and therapy for them.
So, a 5-year-old, if there are behavioral issues, first of all, behavioral issues are correlated with academic issues
Yeah.
and they are also related to the definitely. Um, were you able to hear me or were you frozen
No, no,
totally?
I actually lost you. Can you repeat that?
So I said a 5-year-old, definitely we need to look at the whole ecosystem the child is with. And a
Right.
5-year-old showing and displaying behavioral issues is, we think it's the child's fault. But what the child is feeling, it's unimaginable. And what the
Right.
child is doing is only trying to show you symptoms and glimpses of how he feels. So it's
Yeah.
very important to understand that the child is not the problem. Is we make the child a problematic child. He's not a problematic child. So
Right.
please do not think of your child as problematic. A child is never a problem. A problem is a problem. And that very way, when a 5-year-old, a child or a parent is coming and asking, you as a teacher or counselors, it's very important to understand the academic understanding, the parental orientation, the environment the child is in, the milestones, and most importantly, understanding the intent. What is the child trying to show with his behavior? Is
Right.
the child trying to show that he wants Yeah, I think you really have some connection issues.
I could hear you.
Okay, so the question here was why not make gadgets a useful way to help them study? Yes, in fact, I think gadgets have to be used as partners, as alibis who are going to work with you and replace you temporarily to be able to understand and make this a more doable community for our children, a more livable place, and a more positive, unjudged community for our
Right,
children.
right, right. So I don't think we have more questions. Even I have.
Yeah.
Okay. So, ma'am, with this, I would really like to thank you for taking out time for giving us so many wonderful ideas how to deal with children, how to, create that safe spaces for children and to behave more well as a family.
Thank you so very much. And Apurva, I just hope all of us as parents just understand that right now the corona has not affected us alone in life. Our
Yeah,
children are the worst victims of this pandemic
right,
because they
right.
are under house arrest and they are the ones who are not okay. And if they are reaching out to gadgets just to breathe and to live, it's okay.
Okay,
Give them that space to be, and with that space co-create a space which is more lovable than more judged.
right, right.
Yeah,
I think that's the
so with
best
that,
thing we
thank
can
you
do
so
right
much,
now.
Apurva, and thank you all of you. Yeah,
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks for joining in.
you're most welcome. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining.